Okay, today we're going to learn how to install our aftermarket turn signals. So the first thing you want to do is put some kind of a cloth on your front fender so you can put stuff on it so you won't scratch your bike up. Next thing you're going to do is take the light off. Okay, this was here. It's real simple. You just have two screws. One over here, one over there. That's all you gotta do. Take those out and this part will come right out. You have to lift it up and then out because there's a little lip here that thing hooks into. So just wiggle it around, you'll figure it out. Once this is off, you can take it off completely just by unhooking this mechanism right here. It just pulls right out. That's your headlight. If you want to change it, you just take this rubber boot off and then the light just twists and pulls right out. So learn 2 for 1 today. Now the next step is you may have to remove this plastic shell. To do that, there's 2 bolts on each side, here and on the other side. Alright, pull that out and the shell will come off. You want to take the shell off so that you can get in this little hole right here. Right where the metal bracket is on the back, there's a hole. And inside that hole is a bolt. And here's the bolt you're looking for. Okay? Now these are different than what you're going to install because there's 2 holes. There's one hole for the nut to hold it on, and there's one hole for the wire. Most aftermarket ones combine them, so it's going to create a little bit of a challenge. Okay? But we're going to figure it out. Now after you take these off, you want to snip the tip. I've already done that because my tip is over here. Right here. There's orange and there's a blue one. One's right, one's left. I don't know which is which. Okay, so you got 3 wires. You have green is the ground. You have a solid, which is the blink, and a solid with a stripe, which is the running light. As you can see, the running light isn't used anymore. So I just put a shrink wrap on it and crimped it because we're not going to use it. Because most aftermarket turn signals have 2 wires. And here you can see black is the ground and yellow is the positive. So you're just going to solder them together, positive, positive, ground to ground. Slide this black tube over it, shrink wrap it with your hair dryer, and you have something that's compatible. So now the male end fits into the female end. Okay? When I bought these, it didn't have compatible ends. So that's why I had to go through all this. Okay? Once it's done, this is the stock harness here. You just plug it back in. And it works. Okay? Now, the tricky part was with these turn signals, they'll have a nut. And the nut doesn't go over the male end. So you have to make sure you remember to put the screw on the bolt first. So you have to actually mount these on first, then do your soldering with it on the bike. If not, you'll never get it back on. Okay? Now the trick to tightening these, because if you can't get a socket wrench back in this hole, okay, because the wire runs through the hollow bolt. You'll understand when you look at it, okay? So that doesn't work. So the trick to making this thing work is you want these pointing the other way so that the blinker is pointing towards the rear of the bike. And then you're going to put a lock nut or lock washer on before you put the nut on. Mine came with one. If not, go get one at the Home Depot. Then you're going to tighten the nut up as hard as you can with your fingers or with pliers, whatever you can do. Okay? Then to make it tight enough where it's not going to come off, these are pointing the other way, you're then going to twist them 180 degrees and then they should be snug. Okay, so really the only tool you need is your hands if you use a lock washer. And the rest of it's pretty simple. You do the same thing with the left one, right? And then you tuck it back in the shell, put your light back on, and you're done.